Welcome back to map 16 to 20 of Demonfear with commentary by me, the person who made it. So we are on a map called the Lesser Temple, which, as I mentioned sort of at the end of my last video, is the beginning of a set of 5 maps that kind of portray corruption on Earth by the forces of hell. There's some little sort of non-secret but parkouring that you can do. It's not a secret, but it's a little parkour jump you can do off these ledges to grab extra resources. Like a lot of maps, you'll probably immediately notice everything is one height level. I haven't really made use of the ability to vary the heights. Mind you, unlike Sandy, I do at least kind of give depth to stuff, I guess. It's not just... None of this aligns very well. Got no idea where the secrets are on this map, don't recall it at all, and obviously all of these doors are gonna basically lift into nothingness somehow. The old sky door. Don't remember much about this set of maps, I've got to be honest. But I don't think there's a lot to them. In short, I've got no, I may as well. There's a bit of ammo down here. So I mean, basically, yeah, you come in, with this map, you come in, you kill a Baron and some small fry. You grab a yellow key that I mean, on the 2 sides of the map doesn't actually do anything because you could get up onto those ramps anyway. It's basically just to force you to come in that door. That's all it does. Could have done that just as easily by having those, I guess, not open until you had come down here and maybe even released the exit, or otherwise blocking them. But I mean, that's that's the whole map. I have a very brief look around to see if I can work out where there might be a secret. Don't think I chimed a secret at the start of the map. Maybe I did and I've just forgotten. One of these, maybe. I'm not going to spend a lot of time looking for it. Not important. Exit time. Now what is... So there was a secret somewhere. Ah, this map. So conceptually this map is, the idea of this map is that it's kind of like a horrific garden, I guess you could say. That's the concept. Oop. That was the conceptualization anyway. So as you can see, it's not quite impossible for monsters to fire through those bars, but it's pretty hard because they're not very bright. And so, and then you can open them from here. You can also shoot that switch from the other side. That was something that I did, so in case you went out first, you weren't kind of stuck coming all the way back. Occasionally sort of think not too bad an idea about how to give some ease to people. Now, do you think maybe there's a... I don't recall where secrets are on this map, but I wouldn't be surprised if I put one off one of those. Teleporter, which I think is just a way of getting to different parts of the map. I have a feeling one of these, there, that one, almost certainly, given that it doesn't have a dead marine on it, is going to give you something. That's, you know, I mean, it's 50 bullets, I guess, is something. I do on the whole sort of quite like the aesthetic here, you know, the brick and metal look is a pretty nice one on the whole. I think, you know, as a map it looks better. This, I think, so you can get in and out. As a map it certainly looks better than so I assume that, I don't think these lift, I'm not sure how I'm pretty sure that takes you back here, that takes you back here. Could be a rude surprise to drop out there. In front of a couple of chain gunners. Building stairs again. Don't mind that like stair building process. I think this might, yep, open up that stuff. Not that I need it with this particular playthrough, but that's how you get that. Oh, but yeah, I like the look of this better than the last map. Certainly, I think it's a reasonable looking map. I don't recall how many secrets there are. I don't know if I've got them all. But I can pick up some more shotgun shells if I can find some. There's almost certainly some around. Maybe not. Maybe it's a fairly heavily, oh there's one. Fairly heavily chain gunnery in terms of the ammo it drops for you, but there you go, I'm up to full. So yeah, quite a lot of bullets. So how did I do on secrets? Half of them. Not sure where the other one was. Ah yes, this map. So this is another map that was in 1995 considered challenging. Probably because there's a fair bit of hit scanner, you know, wide open hit scanner activity going on here, number one. So those chain gunners and shotgunners can be hard to target and they can kind of wreck you pretty well. So that's probably a part of it. And later on, we're going to be throwing We're going to be throwing revenants, as you may imagine, from that little encounter, and archviles at the player, which in a wide open space can be somewhat challenging for people. Necessarily remember what all these do. Feel like, yeah, felt like they would be now again. I'm playing, remember, on plenty. Rather than ultraviolence, so you don't get the full archvile experience. But yes, this map had a couple of archviles that pop out and obviously make your life quite difficult if you weren't expecting them. Similarly here, you come in here and all the walls drop down so that you're exposed when the revenants come out. I'm still to this day, I mean, this is fairly simple, but I quite like how my little gallows looks. Pretty happy with that on the whole. But yeah, that's map 18 with a nice simple yes. So the theme of this map is that it's a partially submerged city. It's half filled with lava. So the idea is, as you look around, well, number one, obviously there's lots of lava around, but number two, the look of it is that everything is partially submerged. And if I recall correctly, I actually sort of set monster blocking lines so that or height levels anyway, so that monsters other than... Oh, really? That was very frustrating. So that monsters other than lost souls not having any luck with hit scan detection today. Monsters other than lost souls didn't go on the lava. So you can see here, you know, partially submerged, no way out. Idea. This I think doesn't open because, you know, there's lava behind it. Similarly here, we've got to run to lava. Blue key card, helpful thing too. And then obviously grab that. Grab some resources here. And you can now actually access this room. It wasn't accessible from the other side. Get the yellow key. lets out a Baron. Who can't actually leave the room because Barons are tall. There's a secret at the exit. And that's 9. I mean, these are, you know, they're bite-sized maps. There's another rad suit there, so there are a couple of rad suits on the map to make it not too painful to go around. Okay, and I missed 2 secrets in that. Okay, so we have finally come to a slightly less bite-sized map. This is one of the maps where I used, you know, sort of 2 sheets of paper to do my planning. So it's twice the footprint of many of the other maps in terms of its size. So a fair bit more kind of to do in it, a fair bit more space, fair bit higher monster count because there's space for the monster count basically. So a couple of things that I can immediately tell you about with this map. I originally intended to do much kind of more sophisticated, varied lighting in this room. You can kind of see that this is all kind of lit the same level. But I had intended to do more varied lighting here, but I kept running into Viz plane issues, so I chose not to in the end. But that was something I had planned to do with that area. But you know, when Doom's response to your idea for flashy lighting levels is to crash completely, that's a sign you need to slow down, basically. Not a lot you can do about it back in 1995. Obviously these days with you know, I'm blanking on the word. But with all those technical limits gone, so that you can in fact go further. Now one of these, that one, I think maybe also this hurts, I'm not sure. Oh, okay, that's good. Because there's a plasma rifle up here. And a bunch more ammo. From all those bad guys. So yeah, these days obviously you don't have to, you know, you can use a modern port and not worry about Viz planes and moving plats and all the other kind of arcane limits that applied to the Doom engine. That was not the case in 1995. You can see, I think, that there has been some kind of growth of awareness in my design. I mean, number one, I think this looks a bit better. Number two, doors are staying open once opened to allow monster roaming and to avoid quite the same irritating noise that we had in earlier maps. And here's another trick that I did. So these lower showing the yellow key, that's a hint to you or a sign to you that the platform on which the yellow key is found has lowered. That's what it's telling you. I guess, you know, and the reason obviously that doesn't show up before you lower it is so that you don't think, oh, I need the yellow key to activate this. Because I dislike that method, that idea of, oh, well, I'll put the yellow key on it to show that this is how you access the yellow key, because it makes me think I can't press it until there's a yellow key. I mean, these days, obviously, you can tell whether you need it by looking at the map, if you've got a more modern port, but back in 1995, that wasn't an option, and I would therefore avoid using that approach. So if you saw a key sign on one of my maps, it meant you actually do, you know, need the key in order to activate this item, whereas with that one I was saying, you know, okay, now that you've flicked this, you can access the key. Okay, so you may notice here one of these sides has a crossbeam, so one of them, it's this one, it turns out, is going to be a secret. That one doesn't have a crossbeam. Maybe that's a secret. So there's the yellow door, but we don't yet have the yellow key. There's the blue door, but we don't yet have the blue key. So we're a bit short on keys in general, in fact. Another blue door here. So you can see, you know, it's a bigger map. It's still not enormous. My Memento Mori map, for instance, is a much larger one. Spectrum maps, several of the Spectrum maps that I'm also kind of doing a commentary on at the moment, which are my most recent project. Those maps are larger as well. I have a feeling that might be a secret, so obviously the hint there, I guess, is it's a different Sata. So these are all Sata heads, but that one is a, you know, it's also actually a switch texture, so I suspect, you know, a lot of people, you know, probably got it straight away. So now the blue key is wherever that may be located, obviously, has lowered and is accessible. So that's what that's telling you. It's, you know, so, I mean, talking about design, this is still a very kind of bitsy map, in the sense that you open the door, you shoot some monsters in that room, so we're still tending towards a fairly static play at times. But I have now, and you can hear a Archvile has been released. I'm pretty sure he is back this way. Yeah, there he is. So obviously he can be a very nasty shock if you either miss that sound or leave him go too long. I don't think any of these are, yeah, they're not, they're just cubicles for monsters basically. So we now have a yellow key, which is good. Progressing reasonably well. Here is another. On the red key. That's the exit through the red door. But we have the yellow key, so let's go get that yellow door sorted out. We can hop up here. It's one of the things I did like, is that I kind of made it a bit easier to get around as well. Like I gave you options for getting around. And to some extent, I was thinking there about, like, you know, giving people maneuverability options for deathmatch so that they could make multiple ways through the map and surprise people. But I mean, it's also good for anyone who is playing single player and just, you know, wanting to not have to go the long way around for stuff. But some of this, like, you know, some of that is a bit meh, really. Now, I'm pretty sure this is a room full of Mancubi. Yeah. I probably should have made all of these blue doors activate at the same time, which would allow the Mancubi to potentially go through other doors and roam around and surprise you, rather than me just door camping the poor buggers like I am doing. You know, more modern design thoughts, more modern thinking would lead to that. Red door is up there, hasn't opened yet, hasn't been lowered yet, haven't found that switch. But yes, red key rather than red door is up there. Need to locate the right switch for that. Which is honestly an interesting question. Where is the switch for that? Because I have now done the blue. These are not switches. And up here. Misplaced the switch. That's the blue. There wasn't anything up there. That was yellow. Open another blue door. Not a switch in here, is there? It's not simply a... Ah dear. The 90s. They were a simpler time when, you know, you just press on something to lower it. And I could easily just rush past these guys, of course. Once the chain gunners are gone, these guys are really just heat point sinks, but there's plenty of ammo to gather, so I figured I may as well. I won't jump through just yet, though. Just show you the area. May as well quickly grab some more shotgun ammo to fill that up. And I think we're about done. That'll do. 98. And that's map 20, the Greater Temple. So this, and amusingly, I didn't think to put an exit line on the back. I did wonder about that just then. So you have to come in from this side, or obviously go all the way through. But that is map 20, the Greater Temple, so that set of 5 maps begins with the Lesser Temple, ends with the Greater Temple. There's kind of a theme to it, and we're now into Hell itself with the final 2 sets of maps. So next time we will do maps 21 to 25. I hope you've enjoyed this, and see you next time.